What's going on, guys? So we're back again with another gameplay video. This time we have Perth Pro Players team member Jason Stubbs here on the left playing Kefla Surge, and we have Adam here on the right playing starter deck Vegeta. So just before we get started into the gameplay video, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Team Card Titan. If you guys want any DBS seal products or DBS singles, make sure you check out that link in the description below. And for all the people in Australia and New Zealand, check out their auction page on Facebook as well. Now, Kefla Surge definitely got a little bit of a bump in this recent set that's been dropped. So this is post set 15 being released. But this Kefla Surge, some really cool additions actually to the deck that I guess help to maybe like filter, apply some more pressure, make it feel like your hand wasn't always at like minimal cards. It does exactly what it wanted to do as well. Kefla Surge kind of was a pretty aggressive deck in a way. So being able to do that is really, really nice. Start of Vegeta, right? So this is run with the Bardock's package, which we have seen this deck previously on the channel as well. Very strong. But Adam, pretty much all he wants to do is just being able to establish these one drops as much as possible and apply some pressure. So we are charging that new hit unison just here. So great unison. It's absolutely phenomenal. The scary thing is though, is pretty much every card in Adam's deck, it's so easy to establish the bond that they're going to be all 15k swings and they're going to put some pressure through, unfortunately. And he's not going to really be able to protect it. So I'm assuming that's why Stubbs is charging this here. But we are going to go for the play on the Kefla Surge, drawing our 2 and then bottom decking 1 to play out this Kefla. And this is the Kefla I was talking about. So this is, I guess, the new little toolbox card for this deck, which it replaces itself, which is always good in this deck. I think that's what needs to happen. But it allows you to see more cards rather than just U6 as well. Because that's the other thing, is a lot of the cards you played in this deck just searched out U6. So unless you were playing like a phenomenal amount of U6, it wasn't hitting every time, which unfortunately we did whiff on that Kefla, the Kale just before, so that's very sad. Usually you want to make sure you hit on that one, but it does happen. So we are swinging into leader here with the starter deck Vegeta. More than likely playing out another 1 cost, yep, which is perfect. And then I'm assuming we pay Evolve. Okay, so we're going to go for the Evolve instead. We're going to check top now. Hopefully we hit a 1 drop here. Yep, so we got a Borgos at least. The only one in that whole stack was the Borgos, which is, it's kind of scary, I guess, when you start going through and it's the second last card just there that we hit. But it is pretty nice for him to at least get something in the drop area that he can play out, right? So that's kind of nice for him. So he can play this out and then, I guess, start to establish that bond a little bit more. So we are going to swing in. And Adam is choosing the aggressive route. This is an aggressive deck just here, right? It's gonna play out a little bit better than what we saw in a previous match where he was versing Raditz, because he can actually establish a bit of a hand. And we're going to be swinging those 15. So this is what I mean. This is the reason why I think Stubbs probably charged that hit unison rather than just playing it straight out onto the board, because it is just so easily cleared by this deck. Unfortunately, they're so easy to get out these 15Ks, and he's doing the same thing again, just charging it, potentially waiting until he's got higher amounts of energy and can play it for a little bit more, because then it's probably a little bit more valuable as well. And that bottom deck is very strong as well. Like it's almost one of those things that maybe you hold it until you got 4 energy, pay your 2 to flip the leader back over and then apply as much pressure as possible. And Adam didn't get a unison, so usually turn 2 you want to hit your unison, awaken, and then kind of get advantaged with cards and then start applying pressure. Stubbs here, we're going to grab this Kefla off the top with this Caulifla. Amazing card. I probably can't praise it enough, but that card is just very, very strong. It just does so much for 3 energy as well. And when it's on play, being able to discard another copy of the card to get the dual attack, draw 2 cards and rest a card as well is just really, really strong. So looks like we're going to go for our Awakened Surge here. We're just going to draw 4 anyway. We're not untapping, sadly, but it just gives us a little bit more protection. The other thing as well is, I guess, establishing this unison now. Okay, so establishing this unison here, I guess, allows him in a way to protect his leader, because now Adam needs to deal with this unison. You probably can't leave it on board like it is. So it looks like we're going to combo up to 20, so matching it, which is, I guess, it's not too bad. It's not like ideal, I guess, but we are going to match it at least. So taking it 20 to 20, take a card out of hand. So it is a 1-for-1. Once again, doing exactly the same thing. So just 1-for-1, but it looks like we're just going to let it go. So because that card keeps getting value, right? So we are going to go for the discard for the Surge effect here. We're going to draw and then passing turn, which isn't too bad at all. Looks like we have access to hopefully a unison now. Looks like we do have the Marseillan unison in hand. I think so. Adam runs a mixture between the Marseillan and the Piccolo Junior, right? But it looks like he prioritizes the Marseillan a little bit more, just because it facilitates, I guess, what he wants to do with his Bardock's crew package, right? So he's going to do his plus. He's still getting his draw regardless, but what he'll want to do is put 1-drops, I believe 1-drops from the deck in the drop area, and then he can draw a card. But now he gets his Awaken, gets to take the 3 life down to 5 as well. And gets to get his untapped too. So it's pretty much just free value there for him. Now, 3 energy to me usually indicates probably 3 more bodies on the board that are 1 cost if he's got them in hand, which is quite nice for him. So we are going to swing into leader, I'm assuming, or maybe Kefla, I think we may have been pointing out just there. More than likely, we just want to keep that card on the board. So we're just going to swing combo survival of the fittest, right? Not needed in this matchup. You only play it for your Android 17, okay? So we are going to play a 1-cost Bardock, taking now down to 4, which puts his super combos at a live range too, which is always good for him. Very valuable. Now, I'm assuming this is going into leader, right? And the reason I guess we would go into the leader is so then the effect can trigger where if he takes a damage, he gets to restand it, and then hopefully gets to do the evolve, and then gets to play something out onto the board as well. To get more value. And I think we've got a chain attack as well in hand, which means that we can minus, and then we can also play that Goku out onto the board. So it looks like, unfortunately, I don't think Stubbs has a super combo here, which really sucks. So he may have to use a few cards from his hand. So it looks like we do have a super combo, but not being able to tap anything down. So 25, taking it to 30k just here. So we're getting out of it, but just not getting full value out of that Zamasu super combo, which is always unfortunate. And now, though, Adam can't get his evolve, but he can still establish a 1-cost if he wishes, right? Which I think is still valuable for him. Blue doesn't have a hell of a lot of removal, so him being able to do that's kind of nice. The only thing he does have access to here probably is the Kaba, right? So we are just going to God Sealing straight away onto that Bardock. So Stubbs obviously knows he's played this deck. He's played the Bardock package many times, played it in King Vegeta, won Oceanics with the King Vegeta with the Bardock package in it, right? So he did win an online webcam event with it, so he knows the importance of that Bardock card and how great it is. And what Adam can do with that card as well is like establish so many things on the board. Good thing here though, right, is I know Adam's done it before and he did it in the Raditz matchup and he can do it now, is swing in with this chain attack Bardock just here, right? He can do his minus. Has the crit then, right? So he gets the minus, and then we establish the bond 3 to gain the crit and everything else, right? Which is great. So now we've established our bond 3 on the swing, which is awesome, right? So he's going to swing crit now into the leader, and it has the 15k, which is great. And he's also gone for the minus just here. So you've got to make sure, right? So, because I guess the sequencing, it would have been a little bit different because he would have swung in the crit. Stubbs has to decide to take the life for Power Burst. Dimension Magic, not Power Burst, Dimension Magic. And then he gets to play the card. So Adam rushing into it, I guess, showed the cards a little bit too much just there. It probably wouldn't have changed what he did, but maybe Stubbs would have negated because he was thinking, all right, cool, it's not too scary. What's swinging in right now? We don't have our bond 3. But it is kind of scary how easy you can establish it. So we're taking that damage. I think going down to 2, I believe, which is rather scary against this deck. As I said, a lot of pressure can be applied going into these next turns. So we've got a U6 on board, free hit into energy. So it's like a check land when you've got a U6 on board. both a decent amount of cards in hand, but Stubbs is a very energy heavy deck as well. And if he doesn't have, I don't know if he's running Sense of Being, I don't know if it's in the deck, but if he doesn't have access to things like Sense of Being, makes it rather scary. Now, what he needs to do probably here is being able to just clear the board. Adam is going to say absolutely no to that card. Great SCR, being able to pretty much hatch in any deck as well, is very, very strong. So now he's got enough of a board to be able to actually hatch and do that for free just here, right? So, sadly, we're not going to be able to clear the board as we probably wished we could. We do still have access to our 3 energy though, so hopefully we can get some protection. We are going to plus on the hit though and just get a draw going. Sorry, not too sure what's going on here. I think maybe it doesn't negate the attack. Maybe, sorry, I cannot remember how Pan reads in that counter attack thing. Potentially it doesn't actually negate the attack like Hatch. It just establishes in the counter attack window that they can't swing anymore for the turn. So there's always that potential so that maybe the attack is still happening here. And Stubbs has a chance to combo if he wishes, which I think maybe he is thinking about. Or looks like he's going to E-limit instead, right? So we are just going to rest it and draw a card just to get some value. And we're just going to leave it at 15. And then we're going to go for the swing here. I'm assuming probably into the leader, trying to keep some pressure up. But we can see Adam's got quite a big grip right now. Quite a lot of good cards in hand as well. He's found the Piccolo that he can play for free because he's got a Unison on the board too, which is great. So we are going to go for the Surge ability, just drawing a card and then getting rid of the Kefla. So I believe she gets removed from the game, much like all the other ones, I think. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I can't remember it 100%. As I said, it is a new card. I know it's absolutely phenomenal card as well. It's such a splashable SCR, much like Kai is as well, and in some cases probably better than Kai in some decks too. So very, very valuable for sure. It just depends what the meta's shaping up to be, right? So if you have both, sometimes Kai is the right choice if the meta is very Unison heavy or like they're swarming board a lot. But the Pan can also be absolutely phenomenal, just being able to kind of stop quite a lot of things going on, and then being able to as well just play it for a free 40k too, because if you establish enough of a board, it's a free 40k during your turn. The only thing that has the energy the restrictions is the counter attack, right? The permanent is what reduces the cost, so you can play it for free during your turn and swing in with a free 40k. So it's pretty outstanding card. We are going to swing in, drawing a card, getting a test in opposition, so a little bit of safety for us. Hatch is definitely getting windmilled straight away, right? We really need to protect going into this next turn. Jason needs to get a longer game than this. Unfortunately, that's kind of what the deck wants to do, and I think that's what all blue decks wants to do, especially blue-yellow as well. Like a longer game is always going to be better for them. If you're going to apply too much pressure, they're not going to enjoy it as much. And it also gives him access to, I guess, more cards, so hopefully more defense for him, so he can go for, like, hopefully find some beans and things like that if they are being run in the deck, because I think bean kind of shuts down pretty much this whole deck, right? You're at 20, they're all at 15. Adam then starts having to combo up, which kind of screws him over. So we are going to go for the plus. Yep, so going for the plus, drawing a card. I thought maybe we were going for the minus for a second. They're going to flip. But we are going to go for Hatch, testing the opposition, paying 2, rather than taking a life, which I respect that. We've got so much energy up. Why not? Just protect it. Now we've got the blocker established as well. So Jason now has to put some work in to try to get this kill going this turn if that's what he's going for, right? He can obviously combo, so he can swing. He can combo the Zamasu and tap that blocker down just to get it out of the way. But Adam still has quite a lot of cards in hand. So we do just want to be able to get, or I guess force him to like combo cards from hand. So swinging in here is definitely valuable. We're going to Zamasu, we're going to tap it down. Just get it out of the way. And then we're going to rival Kefla, which is great. So dual attack, double strike if we can discard another copy, which I believe we have too, if I remember correct. I think I saw another one in the hand. which is quite nice for him. So dual attack, double strike, and then he can also bottom deck something, ignore and barrier, which I'm assuming here you probably just go straight for your chain attack Bardock. But Adam obviously can have a response, so he could hit Kefla and hit Yamcha, and Yamcha can hit Kefla as well. But we are going to bottom deck this Bardock. The chain attack's too strong, unfortunately. So 25k, I believe, into leader right now. Adam probably going to go for his super combo as well, because I think we have a super combo or two in hand, just to be able to protect a little bit more. So taking away that blocker as well, always strong. So being able to draw two, if he can survive quite an aggressive turn going into this next turn, right? So we are going to go for the effect of Kefla, discarding, drawing two, and then tapping down a card, right? So we're going to tap down an energy here, so we're only at one now. So if he does want to test in opposition, which I believe that's the only negate that is actually run in this deck. So if he wants to test in the opposition, Adam does have to take a life, which is a little bit scary. We're going to swing in a 15k crit just here. I think taking it to, looks like 30k. So trying to get this crit through. And then the scary thing is obviously Kefla coming in for dual attack, double strike, 30k, which is pretty big numbers and pretty scary. But we have got another super combo here from Adam. So he's going to combo out of it quite easily, I feel like. Not losing too many cards from hands, whereas Stubbs kind of had to use a few cards, which sucks. And he ripped another super combo. So more than likely we just hit the other super combo at this point. Just to take it to 35, because I believe we're at 30. So yeah, just take it straight to 35, two super combos. Filter through the deck, and I'm pretty sure that's at least 3 of our super combos we've seen now. Not ripping the 4th there if we still had one in deck. But that's okay. So we're going to swing in a 15. Taking it to, it looks like 20k. So we're just going to combo the Goku off board, take it to 25. Now, Jason has to win here probably off the back of this Kefla. I'm assuming he probably doesn't have too much else combo in hand. And then we're going to swing in again for 30. And I think we're going to be able to combo out of 30, unfortunately. So 25. And then I think we had... Yes, 25, 35 there. Very easy, unfortunately, for Adam to get out of. Jason is tapped out against the aggro deck, which is very scary. No longer have access to Hatch. No longer have access to the Surge ability either. So I would assume here, right, that this is probably going to be game, unfortunately. Just forcing that extra damage through really hurt on the swing just before, because that was kind of difficult, I guess. I think maybe the choice potentially could have been you swing the Kefla and you combo. So you let him hopefully take the first one, and then you swing that second one, and you combo everything you can, and then force him to use as many cards as possible in hand that you may be able to win off the back of these 15s. So Stubbs going out like the true gentleman he is, and just deciding his own fate, and instead Dimension Magic his own life away just to kill himself, which I respect that. That's going out like a true legend, just taking your own life rather than letting your opponent just kill you. So there we go, guys. Kefla Surge, obviously a pretty cool deck. We have seen it previously on the channel as well, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. It is very interesting. And Starter Vegeta is something we haven't seen really too often either, and it's a really cool deck. Obviously, the Bardock's crew package. This is something that Adam played in the original Bardock deck as well, and just changed it all over. And I definitely think it's stronger with the Starter Vegeta than it was with the Bardock deck. Obviously, being able to get your early awaken, draws are staying pretty heavy. It's a really cool deck. Really fun concept as well. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please remember to subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.